This is Dr. Andrew Jones. In this edition of Veterinary Secrets, I'm going to show you how to naturally treat your dog or cat's ear mites at home. A little bit about ear mites themselves, and we'll get right into the specifics of the video. They're known in veterinary terms as otodectes. It's a surface mite that lives its entire life cycle on your pet, primarily within your cat's ears. I'm using Gussie as an example, her being a cat, in that majority of animals I ever saw in veterinary practice, probably over 97%, were all cats that had ear mites. So ear mites live their entire life cycle on your pet. They have approximately a 21-day life cycle, meaning they're going from an egg up until a mature adult that can lay more eggs in about a 3-week span. So hence, when we're looking at courses of treatment, we're looking at doing it over a 3-week period, because we need to cover that entire life cycle. So the most common sign of a cat or a dog having ear mites is that they're showing signs of an ear infection. They're shaking their head, they're scratching at their ears. Typically, they're going to have hair loss down along the base of the ear where they've been scratching. If you can look into their ear, the biggest clinical sign you're going to see is that they're going to have this black debris within their ear itself. So I'm just going to zoom in here and give you a little bit of a better close-up so you'd actually get a better idea to see what it would look like within a cat's ear and how I'd be able to diagnose ear mites, and how you can as well too at home. So this is Gussie as the close-up. I'm just holding up her right ear, and I'm just going to put you see this Q-tip here, put that into the top part of her ear canal, taking out some of the debris. Ultimately, the exact diagnosis can come at your veterinarian. They can take a sample of that debris, put it on a little microscope slide with a little bit of mineral oil, look under a microscope, and then you'll actually see the mite themselves crawling under a slide. So how do you go about treating ear mites? First, your obvious options is going into your veterinary clinic, getting a diagnosis, and they get some of the conventional ones. You have things like topical Revolution, Selmectin. It's quite effective. So your first option in terms of treatment is something very simple. I prefer olive oil, which I've got here, and I just put it into just a small bottle. I just picked this up at a pharmacy this morning, these small little dispensing bottles. And what I've done, I've put in 8 tablespoons of olive oil. So as I said, to start, I prefer something pretty soothing like this olive oil. So I've got 8 tablespoons of olive oil. Now I'm going to follow that up, and I've just picked up some calendula tincture, because it's a great soothing anti-inflammatory herb as well. And I'm going to put in 2 dropper fills, so that's about 2 mils of calendula mixed up into that olive oil. And that's something that I would keep, protect it from light. I would just keep it in the cupboard. Keep it in it doesn't have to be in the fridge, but you want to avoid sunlight, avoid direct light. Just gently mix it up. And I would just go ahead and squirt that in. You need to start, part of treating your cat or your dog with ear mites is getting the medication into their ears. So you want to put about 5 drops to start. Then I would take the base of her ear, just rub that really gently till you hear it squishing. You're working its way down the ear canal. You can hear the squishing. So you've mixed in the olive oil, the calendula. Then I would take a Q-tip. Be gentle not to push it down into the eardrum, but just go straight down. Then wipe the excess debris out. Okay, Gus, we're just going to wipe out that olive oil. And I'll wipe out that. Oh, there you go. So what I've done in doing that is I've got a fair amount of debris from her. She's got a slight ear infection. But in terms of doing that, so we put that olive oil, that calendula in, it's working its way down in. We've loosened up the debris, so we're getting rid of some of the ear mites that way. But the olive oil itself will actually smother, it'll cover those live mites. And some of them are going to die with the olive oil itself. Typically what I find to start out, in the first few days, the first day in particular, you're doing a lot of cleaning. You're putting the oil in, really rubbing the base of the ear well, wiping all that debris out. Typically that first day you've got a whole lot of cleaning. Then after that, primarily it's just medicating. So then you're putting this mixture in, the olive oil vitamin E, or the olive oil vitamin E or olive oil calendula in twice a day. And you're going to do that twice a day for 7 days, stop for 7 days, then follow that up again and repeat that for 7 days. The next option I want to discuss is another oil. It's coconut oil. So here it is here. I mean, we use it a lot in our house. It's a wonderful oil to have on hand. Great for cooking with, has a whole bunch of nutritional and along with medicinal benefits, and it's very safe for your pets as well, as is olive oil. Warm it up in a liquid state, then once again do what I did with the olive oil. You're going to apply it twice a day for 7 days, stop for 7 days, follow up for another 7 days. So the last option is using diatomaceous earth. So this is a bag of the diatomaceous earth here. I just picked it up at my local co-op. So it's just a sedimentary rock. So if you are going to apply it, because it's this fine powder, I think it's easiest just to put a little bit on the tip of a Q-tip, tip your cat or your dog's ear back, and put it into the ear itself. And then you can sort of gently put it further down into the ear canal itself. So I'm just putting a few little tip of the ear. I'm just dabbing it in the Q-tip itself into the bag here, the diatomaceous earth. Then like dropping that little bit into Gussie's ear canal. Okay. And then what you do, assuming your cat or your dog is cooperative, is then rub the base of the ear again. Okay, as you can see, Gussie's lost her temper. She's like, that's it, she's done. So you'd once again, you drop it in, rub the base of your dog or your cat's ear, getting that diatomaceous earth, working it down the ear canal. And do the same regimen I discussed before, twice a day for 7 days, stop for 7 days, and then repeat. Thank you for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets on how to treat your cat or dog's ear bites at home. If you've yet to do so, I encourage you to subscribe. You can do so by clicking the link in the box above, and then you can get my free books and videos by clicking that link in the box below.